Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of the absolute most fascinating things happening in the artificial intelligence landscape right now. I'm talking about Claude AI. Built by Anthropic, this thing has been making some massive waves across the tech industry because of its totally unique approach to processing information. So today we're going to break down exactly what this model is, peek under the hood at how it works, and talk about why it actually matters for how you work and learn every day.
Okay, let's dive into this with a question that might sound, well, kind of counterintuitive. What if an AI was trained to actually admit when it just doesn't know the answer? I mean, think about the usual AI headaches you've probably run into, right? The overly confident hallucinations, the completely fabricated facts. What if the core design was completely flipped to prioritize honesty over simply looking smart? That is the exact premise behind Claude.
We know your time is valuable, so here is our structured roadmap for today. 1. We'll meet Claude AI. 2. We'll look at the safety-first approach. 3. The Claude family. 4. What Claude does best. And finally 5. Claude versus ChatGPT.
All right, Section 1, Meet Claude AI.
So, rewinding to 2021. A group of former OpenAI researchers, including Dario and Daniela Amodi, decided to branch out and build something new. But to really get their creation, Claude, we kind of need to nail down what it is technically. Claude is what we call a large language model, or LLM. Now, this isn't just a fancy search engine pulling facts from a giant database. Instead, it's been trained on absolutely enormous amounts of text to understand the patterns of human language. It actively predicts what a helpful, accurate response should look like, and then it generates it word by word. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
And hey, here's a really fantastic piece of trivia for you. The name Claude isn't just some random friendly moniker they picked out of a hat. It's actually named directly after Claude Shannon, the brilliant mathematician widely known as the founder of information theory. This is a very deliberate nod to the company's deep, foundational roots in scientific rigor and AI safety research, which perfectly sets us up for our next topic.
Section 2, the safety-first approach. To really understand Claude, we need to look closely at Anthropic, the San Francisco-based company behind it. Their primary mission, their North Star, is building interpretable and safe AI. And to pull this off, they use this highly unique training method called constitutional AI. Essentially, Claude is trained to follow a strict set of core principles, literally a constitution, to be helpful, harmless, and honest. This is absolutely crucial. It means the AI is explicitly designed not to just optimize for whatever makes the user happy in that exact moment, especially if doing so means sacrificing safety, reliability, or accuracy.
So what is the direct result of that specific training? Well, you'll actually hear Claude say, "I'm not sure." Because of those constitutional AI principles, Claude is going to actively push back on harmful requests. And crucially, it will admit its own uncertainty instead of confidently fabricating some answer just to appease you. In a world totally flooded with AI hallucinations, that hesitation is actually a massive feature. It ensures you can really trust the outputs you're getting.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 3, the Claude family.
Claude isn't just one single tool. It's really an entire ecosystem tailored to different needs. Up at the very top, we've got Claude Opus. This is their absolute heavyweight model, designed for complex reasoning, deep analysis, and super demanding cognitive tasks. Next, stepping down just a bit, we have Claude Sonnet. Sonnet strikes this perfect balance of capability and speed. It's pretty much your ideal workhorse for everyday professional stuff. And finally, there's Claude Haiku. Haiku is the fastest, most affordable version on the roster, totally perfect for high-volume applications where lightning-fast speed matters way more than profound depth.
200,000. Let that massive number sink in for a second. This represents one of Claude's most impressive technical achievements to date, its token context window for a single conversation. But, what does a 200,000 token limit actually mean for you in practice?
And this brilliantly illustrates the model's true power. To put that into human terms, 200,000 tokens translates to roughly 150,000 words. That is about a 500-page book. You could literally drop an entire 500-page novel, a massive legal brief, or just a colossal codebase right into Claude's chat box, and it can analyze the whole thing in a single pass. It holds all of that context in its memory at once. It's honestly like having a genius research assistant who just memorized an entire textbook in 3 seconds and is immediately ready to answer your questions about Chapter 4.
All right, pivoting to Section 4, what Claude does best.
Let's move away from those technical specs for a minute and talk about how these capabilities translate into actual practical benefits for you. Claude has earned a stellar reputation in a few specific areas. First off, its writing and editing feedback is exceptionally natural. It gives you highly specific, actionable critiques instead of that vague, robotic fluff. Second, it's widely considered a top-tier coding assistant, capable of writing, debugging, and explaining complex code across most languages. Third, thanks to that massive context window we were just talking about, its long document analysis is second to none. And finally, Claude is incredible at following complex, multi-part constraints. If you give it a highly specific set of detailed instructions, it sticks to them rigorously without drifting off topic.
Now, if you're wondering how to get access to these capabilities, here's the consumer breakdown. You can access Claude right now for free over at Claude AI. That gives you access to the Sonnet model, though it does come with daily usage limits. But if you're a power user, there's Claude Pro. For $20 a month, you get significantly higher usage limits, plus you unlock access to that flagship Opus model for those heavy-duty analytical tasks.
But hey, the web interface definitely isn't the only way in. For all the developers out there, you can integrate Claude directly into your own software using the Anthropic API, which features standard per-token pricing. They also have Claude Code, a really powerful command line tool you can use directly in your terminal. Plus, for the enterprise folks, Claude is deeply integrated into major third-party platforms like Amazon Bedrock and Google Cloud Vertex AI, so it's highly accessible no matter what ecosystem your business is running on.
This brings us to Section 5, Claude versus ChatGPT.
Comparing them head-to-head, so the crucial point is understanding the specific trade-offs between the two. Both offer a $20 a month paid tier, right? But let's look at the context window. Claude gives you up to 200,000 tokens, whereas ChatGPT maxes out at 128,000. That's a huge edge for Claude when you're handling massive documents. On the flip side, ChatGPT definitely shines with its native image generation via DALL-E and its live web browsing tools. Claude, conversely, is text-only. It won't generate images for you, and its live web browsing is limited. Ultimately, it really comes down to a choice between Claude's deep, safe analytical power for text and code versus ChatGPT's broader multimedia versatility.
Now, a quick aside on privacy and a few frequently asked questions, because let's face it, this is vital when you're feeding an AI your data. As we noted, Claude's knowledge relies on training data with a specific cutoff date. It doesn't browse the live web by default. And while it is text-only for output and won't generate images, it can actually seamlessly analyze images you upload to it. Also, for the professionals watching, you can rest assured that Anthropic takes privacy very seriously. They offer strict usage policies and enterprise plans with advanced privacy controls, ensuring your highly sensitive work remains completely confidential.
Which brings us to a final, provocative thought for today's explainer. With AI models like Claude now actively prioritizing honesty, safety, and a true willingness to admit uncertainty over blind confidence, how is this going to reshape the information we trust going forward? As artificial intelligence becomes deeply integrated into literally every facet of our daily lives, maybe the most powerful and revolutionary feature isn't an AI knowing everything. It's an AI knowing exactly when to say, "I'm not sure." Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. Keep learning, and we'll see you next time.